Hello and welcome to Thursday Debate here on Nile TV International. And tonight we'll be talking about the different achievements in the tourism sector in Egypt. Such a vivid and a vibrant sector. Lots of achievements took place. We have 3 museums that has been inaugurated recently by the president. This in addition to the excavations that are making headlines all over the world, and in anticipation of GEM, the Grand Egyptian Museum, which is considered to be the project of the century and Egypt's gift to the whole world, expected to be inaugurated in 2021. More shedding light on the Egyptian leadership and support to such excavations and important achievements in the field of tourism. We're really honored to have with us Mr. Waleed Batouty, member of the World Federation of the Tourist Guides Association. Mr. Batouty, thank you so much for coming to Nile TV tonight.
Thank you for inviting me to my second home.
It is your second home. We're always really happy to have you with us, especially that you give us positive vibes, if we can say, about a sector which is close to our hearts. As you, as a tour guide in the first place, a renowned one, a very distinctive tour guide, giving a sense of hope and being an ambassador, you yourself, taking tours with tourists from the different nationalities, our great guests. Tell me more positive vibes today.
Well, first of all, I already have a positive vibes because yesterday I went to the new capital. It's my first time.
Yes.
And
the new administrative capital we're
yes,
talking.
And I did a tour with 40 guides. We did a tour. We went to the cathedral. We went to the big mosque, Al-Fattah Al-Alim. I mean, it's too good to be true. It is too good to be true. It's beautiful, and it makes you very proud. And all of us, we were permitted to take few pictures in certain places, and we all shared it. And already people started to ask, "Where is this? What is this?" Mm-hmm. Okay, so. When through the tour guides, you can use your soft power. These are the people that communicate with people. A couple of days ago, it was my birthday. So I had tourists who were with me on a tour before. And they appreciated very much that I was with them on the tour a year ago on my birthday. So they got me a cake. So the memory on the social media brought it back. So they all of them came back on the same one, and they said, "We wish we're with you in Egypt now again like last year." Now, why would people say such thing? Because thank God, if you look at the news that is coming out of Egypt, thank God again, and knock on wood. It's almost every week now, or every 10 days. We are inaugurating roads,
yes,
bridges, mm-hmm, factories, new cities, housing, lots of things is being done. When, again, if you concentrate and look in the news, international news, you'll see lockdown, 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 and things are going on the other side, negative. On the contrary, in Egypt, thank God, we have positive. Last week, I can give you the last week, and then we'll get to the 3 museums. Last week, there was a big celebration from the panoramic new restaurant that was open at the pyramid, overlooking the 9 pyramids. Okay, and the view is fantastic, especially with the sunset and the music and the air and the weather, beautiful. And then, actually, the same day, the president, he was inaugurating 3 museums, 3 at the same time.
Yes, this is an exceptional moment, actually, in history.
Sharm el-Sheikh, Kafr el-Sheikh, mm-hmm, and the Royal Chariot. Now, we have a new style, and there is a knowledge in the world called museology.
Yes.
It's not museums now that you put pieces, mm-hmm, here and there. No, you put it according to a story from the moment you walk in to the moment you come out. So, and we have Egyptians who has PhD in this, and we're following this, and now they have a scenario. I met in the opening of the Chariot Museum, my professor, Dr. Ali Omar, who is in the committee of the scenario of the museum. So things are not done haphazard anymore. Things are done scientifically, and it's done so beautiful in a way that when you walk in, you can put the story, and it takes you throughout the whole museum. The lighting, they have engineers for this. It is not done that put this piece here and put a light on it. No, they have people who bring it out to you also, because the lighting has a very important issue.
A role to play, definitely,
Yes.
in the portrayal of the pieces itself.
The facilities, something that I've always talked about all the time, the bathrooms. The bathrooms are 7 stars, okay? Especially now we have privatization to a museum like the museum in Sharm el-Sheikh. It's privatized, but it is so beautiful. Very smart to open Sharm el-Sheikh and Kafr el-Sheikh at the same time.
Yeah.
Why? Because the one abroad, they know Sharm el-Sheikh very well.
Yes.
They don't know anything about Kafr el-Sheikh. But people.
So it was great to market Kafr el-Sheikh then.
And the museum in Kafr el-Sheikh is fantastic, by the way. I urge everybody in Egypt, whenever you have a time, a Friday, a vacation, whatever, take your family and go and see a beautiful museum on the high end. It is so beautiful. Okay.
Yes.
The third museum, it shows you how Egypt was a very rich country. It was so beautiful. The carts and the way they did it even, okay, it's out of this world. And I was fortunate to be there in the second day opening.
Here we have the opening and excerpts from His Excellency President Sisi's inauguration of the 3 important museums that are opened in the governorates of Sharm el-Sheikh, Kafr el-Sheikh, as well as Cairo, and that was at a cost of nearly 1 billion Egyptian pounds. And here are the state's efforts actually in museum projects and development and restoration of the different archaeological sites and also archaeological work all over the country. Yes.
We'll come to the archaeological work because this is another story.
Yeah.
You know, the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquity, they announced maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, they announced a discovery of 56 coffins, beautiful with the colors, with the canopic jaws, which is the jaws of the intestines and the parts of the body of the ancient Egyptian pharaohs. And then 3 or 4 days later, we saw His Excellency, the Prime Minister of Egypt, is going down for another discovery.
Yes.
Okay? Which I'm assuming, I believe on Saturday, they will announce that. And that's another big one. But Egypt still has some more. In the same area, Saqqara is open. I wish His Excellency Dr. Khalid Al-Anani, the Minister of Antiquity and Tourism, to consider. I know he watched Nile TV International. He has all his team also watch, and they keep an eye on this channel. I hope they like this idea. I wish by next year we can make a ticket worth of $200, $300, $400, whatever the price is, and we can take tourists to sites from a distance to see a dig.
That would be fabulous.
Because Saqqara now is full of digs everywhere, okay? And it's so beautiful. And there is people, during this lockdown abroad, is keeping an eye on Egypt. And now they keep saying, oh, looks like I've received this a few times, looks like we won't be able to come to Cairo only for 2-3 days. Cairo now needs a week, okay? You won't be able to see the Saqqara on a half day. It's probably going to be a 1 full day or 2 full days. That's Saqqara by itself. Now you have palaces such as the Baron and Pam Palace. There's no ideas in Egypt. In the past, we used to take the tourists to the hotel once the sites closed by maximum 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. We take them back to the hotel, have dinner, and go to sleep. We don't give them any entertainment.
Any program for entertainment, yes.
And you know, abroad when we travel, as Egyptians, we do something in the morning, we go back to the hotel, you know, you shower and change, and then go out again, because I want to gain the most of my trip. So there is a level of understanding that we should not just take the client in Egypt at night to the Sunday show only. That's the only thing we use, or we used to offer two things.
What would be ideas out of the box for the tourists when they come? They of course, the whole day they are touring and in museums in the Pyramids Plateau and more. How about at night? How can we entertain them at night in an unconventional way, in your opinion?
Ask me my dream. Let's put it this, my dream. My dream is at night we lock the Mu'izz Street completely from small cars, from motorcycles, from bikes, from anything that may scare the tourist, okay, because they do. And give them a space to walk. And lots of cafes. They could sit, they could have a drink, they could eat something, they could have a good sandwich. I mean, it doesn't have to be dinner.
Our Oriental music and know more of our culture.
Open up for kids, youngsters, who can draw, you know, like the church in
souvenirs. They could also like to take some souvenirs.
Like Times Square. You have artists that could sit down and draw you within 5 minutes.
Yes.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we make lots of corners and youngsters could come and play music? Okay, and people could show their appreciation. But I'm willing to spend in Mu'izz Street with my group 5-6 hours.
Very nice idea. And what we're seeing actually, this footage of the president inaugurating the 3 museums shows definitely the support of the political leadership for Egypt's tourism and for the antiquities sector, and also the government's efforts in order to preserve Egypt's history.
This is very important, and this is excellent, because abroad people can see that the highest level in the country is paying so much attention to this, and he's following up, and he's keeping an eye, and he's finding the budget for this.
Exactly. 1 billion. We have 1 billion, for instance, pounds for the museums.
The most interesting thing, I was also lucky, the legendary Dr. Zahi Hawass, the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquity, because there is one of the biggest institutes in the world from Prague. They honored Dr. Zahi by writing 3 volumes, books about him.
Yes.
So the Minister of Antiquity and Tourism is very smart. He said there will not be a better place to honor Dr. Zahi Hawass than the Cairo Egyptian Museum. And he gave a beautiful speech to Dr. Zahi, as well as Dr. Zahi gave a beautiful speech back, and he gave a nice gift, the best book Dr. Zahi ever wrote. It's humongous and it's very expensive. He said, I'll present it to you, Your Excellency, Dr. Khalid Lanani. I mean, you had a very positive feeling and vibes. Yes, it was so great. And
Nile TV covered this beautiful event, and celebrities were there and intellectuals. What was really nice is paying tribute to a man who is really charismatic and who had succeeded throughout his noble march to represent Egypt. And many tourists all over the world loved Egypt through Dr. Zahi and through his explanations, through his lectures, through his beautiful hat, and through his souvenirs, through everything, you know.
Can I tell you a private story with him?
Yes.
You know, I work with celebrities when they come to Egypt, and I was once with a celebrity between the foot of the Sphinx, early hours in the morning. And we were there, and they had the privilege of having a private lecture, but a big celebrity, by Dr. Zahi. And suddenly we heard noise. So the wife of that celebrity, she said to her husband, without mentioning, he's a big guy.
Yeah.
She said, I think people are cheering for you, and you should step and, you know the story, and you should wave to them. So he did, being nice. He went like this, and then suddenly he says, oops, It's not for me. They're saying Zahi. The tourists did not recognize the big celebrity, but they recognized Zahi from a distance. And it was a funny thing because Dr. Zahi said, don't worry, it's okay, I'm used to this. And it was so embarrassing. This guy is a big shot, big actor. The whole world knows him. But we're very fortunate. We have Dr. Zahi, God bless him and bless his soul, and give him all the good things in the world. Because you can tell he's very passionate. His passion shows that he loves this country, and when he speaks about it, it comes from his heart. So he delivers it.
Let's watch right now excerpts of Nile TV's coverage of this beautiful event honoring our iconic Dr. Zahi Hawass. Let's watch.
Part of Cairo and inside the Egyptian Museum, an honoring ceremony dedicated to the archaeologist Dr. Zahi Hawass was held.
Honored tonight really to see that Prague University is producing the 3 volumes to honor me tonight. I'm really glad that more than 130 scholars from all over the world wrote articles in my honor, and this Dr. Khaled Al-Anani tonight and the Vice President of the Charles University to give me the 3 volumes. This is an honor for me. Articles written in my honor from 130 scholars from all over the world, more than 30 countries representing, and this is really a good honor for me.
The event gathered a large number of officials, archaeologists, Egyptologists, famous writers, in addition to actors and actresses. Dr. Khaled Al-Anani, Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, also attended the event. The event was attended by ambassadors of Denmark, Mexico, Cuba, in addition to the Egyptian ambassador Mushira Khattab.
I feel great and I'm very proud. I'm very proud of this place, like I said. I'm very proud with the work that's ongoing in this area. And I'm very proud of Dr. Zahi Hawass. Like you said, he's an icon. And he never stopped for a minute working with passion, perseverance, vision. He's a great ambassador for Egypt, not only Egypt of today, but Egypt of 7,000 years of civilization. He's a globetrotter, presenting Egypt, its culture, its heritage, its history in a very attractive, appealing manner. He is very, very popular all over the world. And really, Dr. Zahi Hawass presents the soft power of Egypt.
Dr. Mustafa Waziri, Secretary General of Supreme Council of Antiquities, was one of the speakers at the event. In his word, he described Dr. Zahi Hawass as the godfather and teacher from which archaeologists have learned a lot. Also, Dr. Mustafa Al-Fiqi, in his word, described how Hawass is faithful to his work.
As you know, Zahi Hawass is an international figure. His name is not limited to Egypt or to the Arab world. He is well known everywhere. I heard people talking about him in London, in New York, all over the world. He is the most famous Egyptologist in our time. I consider him not as a very close friend of mine, but because of his efforts and what he has done in the last 30, 40 years, this is his credit in all cases. That's why he is honored by many ranks and many honorary degrees for all what he has done. I take this opportunity tonight while we are celebrating in this distinguished place, the Old Museum of Egypt. I consider this is a message from Egypt itself to one of her sons, Zahi Hawass, the great Egyptologist, the man whose name is known all over the world. And I think we should use that name for giving more attention to the old antiquities and the history of our own country.
Dr. Anani handed Dr. Hawass the 3-volume papers written by Egyptologists from all over the world. For his part, Dr. Hawass gave Dr. Anani as a gift an encyclopedia gathering pictures and text to all our monuments, and in which is considered best publication in archaeology. Amal Mukhtar reporting for Nile TV International, Cairo.
Yes, we have watched a report that had highlighted one of Egypt's icons. Definitely, Dr. Zahi Hawass. Waleed Batouty is a great friend of Dr. Hawass as well, and you're always proud of Dr. Zahi and his achievements.
Let me tell you one thing. When if I may say, one of the most famous celebrities in the world came to Egypt, and I had the luck, and I was fortunate to see him after Dr. Zahi. I mean, that's a big thing. If you can work or do a little thing with Dr. Zahi, that goes on my CV. So anyway, Dr. Zahi met this celebrity 5 o'clock in the morning, even though his foot was broken. Mm-hmm. And it was a very short notice, but he did. Dr. Zahi met him by the foot of the Sphinx, and then they had breakfast. And then that celebrity, I met him in Sa'ara. And the previous Minister of Tourism, His Excellency, said, what can we do for him? Because that was a private visit, and the media in Egypt wanted to use him. But I mean, that's a private visit. So His Excellency, Dr. Minister Yahya Rashid, he says, what can we do? And at that time, there was a Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Antiquity. The Minister of Tourism spoke with the Minister of Antiquity, Dr. Khalid Al-Anani, and they agreed to give him the Cairo Egyptian Museum for 1 hour. And when he went inside, and towards the end of his trip, I said, what do you feel? He said, you know what? I saw the 3 pyramids and Zahi. And I immediately, when I got into my car, I called Dr. Zahi. I said, Dr. Zahi, I just want to convey a message to you. He said to me, I saw the pyramids and I saw Zahi. So to that extent,
Fourth pyramid.
He's big. So yeah. Why not? Why don't we honor him? And look, one of the people in the interview here was the head of the Bibliothèque Alexandrina,
yes,
Dr. Mustafa Al-Fiqi, mm-hmm. And he said beautiful words. I was at this celebration, and he spoke from his heart. Okay, mm-hmm. And in the video they played, mm-hmm. they had Jehan Sadat, First Lady Jehan Sadat, wife of President Sadat. She spoke so beautiful about him. Omar al-Sharif, can you imagine, a late international actor, legend Omar al-Sharif. Mm-hmm. He says, I used to be the most famous Egyptian till Zahi Hawass came, and now he competes with me. Mm-hmm. These are statements that is so beautiful. I wish we all should show the love of of us to each other,
Yeah.
and the respect to our icons and to our models. I mean, we do have a
Yes,
number of
definitely.
Egyptian. I was so honored the other day. I was, so proud. I was watching a young lady. She won a competition in tennis.
Yeah, Mayar.
And she's gonna go to another one in Australia.
Yes.
And
We have beautiful faces of Egypt, bright faces of Egypt that we are proud of, and who are marketing the name of the country and raising our flag high.
People, they talk. And I have some friends who we were, on the past 2-3 weeks, we were on the phone most of the time from the United States over the election
Yes.
of the United States. And they keep saying, Waleed, we envy you guys of what's happening in your country and all the things that your country is doing, and the good thing that is happening, and you're building up your country. You're very lucky. All our news, thank God, is positive. Okay?
Thank God, yes.
And we're doing things. And, the other day, we were by the pyramids, and people were with me in the car, and they said, what's this? When was this put? There's a bridge over the Pyramid Road where the intersection used to be a lot of traffic. Gone. Gone. Can you imagine? It's so beautiful that things are happening quickly, and we're doing great things. So I always say, if we look on the positive side, things will become very positive, okay? I told you I got the chance to go to the new capital.
Yes.
Amazing.
Marvelous achievement.
Museums.
Well, the museums, Sharm el-Sheikh Museum is showing the rich urban as well as the tribal culture of Sinai inhabitants. If we go to Kafr el-Sheikh Museum, and as Mr. Batouty has mentioned, how beautiful is this museum, showing the diversity of the Egyptian civilization throughout the different ages. As for the Royal Carriages Museum, it is exhibiting a collection of royal carriages and also accessories and the horse guard uniforms. So you can see an identity, a different character for each of those museums. Now for gem, it is a real gem, and it is going to be Egypt's gift to the whole world.
I don't know how can we fit gem with what we have now.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, coming soon, the Museum of Civilization.
Yes.
And there will be a big celebration of the movement of the royal mummies from the Cairo Egyptian Museum in Tahrir Square all the way to the Museum of Civilization. And I'm sure the obelisk and the four sphinxes will have to do something with this event. I mean, His Excellency Dr. Khalid Anani is also marketing Egypt and the events and how they put it. And I mean, there is a community of ambassadors. When we went to the Museum of the Royal Chariot, I mean, I don't think there was one ambassador was not attending. Everybody came. Everybody came.
Sure.
Everybody, when they go back, they do right. That's their job. My father was in the field. They have to go back and write to their own country what they have seen. They had a lovely dinner. I'm sure, I'm telling you, I'm sure, because also there is a great cooperation between the Minister of Culture and His Excellency Dr. Khalid Al-Anani over the opera.
Yeah.
I know, and I'm sorry, I can't, sometimes they say...
I can't wait.
Don't say, no, we got to say, there'll be cooperation between the Cairo Opera House, and there'll be lots of events. You know, I don't know if I can mention this, there's a big event is happening soon in a palace with the legendary Kulthum. We are now using our soft power. I did receive a phone call from friends from Kuwait, and they said, we're dying to come. We want to come. This is going to be an amazing thing. And you know, they're the ones who told me.
And the Arab Music Festival was also a hit. That one also marketed Egypt to the whole world and made like a beautiful movement. You have celebrities from all over the Arab world also coming, and of course our icons singing as well.
And she's
so
dead.
That's Egypt's soft power.
And imagine, and I used to think it was one day. They're the ones that told me, because I think maybe, I don't know, maybe the tickets went out. Now it's going to be 2 days. And we have another, the composer, Omar Khairat.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's put all these positive things, and every now and then we have to throw 1 or 2 concerts.
Yes.
With keeping distance. By the way, it's very important that we should keep distance, and for the safety of people and things like this. And God bless Egypt. And we come out of the second round of COVID-19, which we were discussing off air.
Yes.
That, you know, now they say they had the vaccine, the second day of the election, and things will get better. I'm assuming by maybe Jan, everything will probably start to become over.
Hopefully, yes, we wish so.
But the good thing is we did not waste the whole time before. We worked on the infrastructure of Egypt. We worked on roads. We worked
And
on
the
museums. On projects. We worked
Yes.
on museums. We worked on a lot of things. I am sure there will be a tour called City Tour that people could do a city tour in downtown. Maybe in New Cairo. Maybe in the new capital.
The virtual tours also of the Ministry of Tourism were very successful during the time of COVID-19. That was also a brilliant idea, you know, then.
I hope we can plan, the travel agents in Egypt, plan that they could take the clients to one of the big outlets, whether in 6th of October or New Cairo, and give them 3-4 hours, okay, and let them free. They go into the malls, they dine here, there, whatever, and then they'll tell them pickup time will be at so-and-so. We don't have to organize everything, and put our hands and pamper them like this. No, we should give them some time to go.
Some space
Some
also.
of the clients now, they use the application rides and taxis and all of this, and they go out. But let's plan it that this would be something that Egypt should offer. Let's open some museums at night. Okay,
It
so
used to before COVID.
the Cairo Egyptian Museum,
Exactly.
it was on Thursday and on Saturday, I
Yes.
believe. They used to open at night. I hope we can do this with all of them. I hope we can do in the summer the sites in Upper Egypt, which was planned before, that they open at night as well. So maybe the clients could spend the day by the pool, enjoying themselves, and when the weather is less heat, then they could go at night, and it's, you know, double the price of the ticket.
Offer services, yes.
Yes, because it's going to cost for the
course.
electricity, for the guards, for the second shift. Plus, it provides jobs. Okay? And as you said, gym is another story. Gym, it's out of this world. I had the
is.
chance to be a few times over there. And I think they're ready. They're ready. It's just we have to wait till everything settles. And then, because we really should have a very big opening, big celebration. And the area is also changing, by the way. If you go and you drive by, you'll see now they're cleaning up and they're
Yes.
doing a lot of good things.
Plans has been put actually to transform Giza into the capital of world tourism.
Oh, yes.
And this is very inspiring.
Yes. The thing is, as I told you, I thought the idea of showing Sharm el-Sheikh, it has an international name. And very smart to put Kafr el-Sheikh with it. Because I received from friends, they said, so they've opened 2 museums in Sharm el-Sheikh? So I said, no, that's a different destination. So they said, oh, so that means we have to plan an extra day. How can we visit the other
The
sheikh?
Kafr el-Sheikh.
I said,
The
Kafr
other
el-Sheikh,
sheikh.
you can drive from Cairo. You will see the countryside, you will get there, it is beautiful, you spend the day, okay. Do you think the museum just opened like this? No, there'll be restaurants around.
Yeah.
There will be lots of things that people, and activity. So the people around will benefit. Now look at the Museum of Civilization. It is so beautiful, okay, and I'm assuming the opening, which I believe it's going to be very soon. But I wish, if I have the chance to come again soon, you will see what happens after the new discovery that they will announce this coming.
On Saturday.
Is it on Saturday? Then I want you to see the feedback.
How about the feedback? You know, you are in direct contact with friends all over the world.
People are dying to come.
Yes. Such excavations, what sort of impact do they leave?
It makes them eager more to come.
To come and see.
Bear in mind, there's people already on ground. There is people that they...
And yes, and we're really always happy to see ambassadors around on such excavations, as you've mentioned, because they are going also to market all what they see to their countries. This in addition also to friends from all over the world. How about the services in tourist areas and development of those services?
I can tell you it is 85% better. I mean, it's not the top 100%, but there's a big difference. People can tell. You know, things have changed. The path where you walk to go under the step pyramid, I mean, these things are very impressive. We mentioned before, I believe, with you in one of the episodes, we have an Egyptian football player that is a moving
yes,
a promotion. Huh?
God bless him, Salah.
God bless him. What do they call him? Do you know? They call him the Egyptian king.
Yes.
And when the crowds sing to him, they say the Egyptian pharaoh. Salah did not plan this. The audience called him this, the Egyptian pharaoh. I mean, there is lots of international players. They play in the British League and they play in the European League, but none of them was called with the name of his country. We're very fortunate with this. Okay, I said and I proposed before that we should have a small plane. The country should sponsor this. And take the chance now. Small plane, it's not going to cost us much with the budget, and to put on the tail of it the Zahi Hawass with his hat, and say and do a program called Zahi Hawass around the world, and have Zahi to tour the world and deliver Egypt. He delivers Egypt, and then wherever he put a foot, people come. Okay, he knows how to market Egypt. When I go to sites, and I'm explaining in Valley of the Kings, and then I see people are screaming, okay, and I look what, and they say, the legendary Zahi Hawass, and then I say, okay, come down, I know him. Even for me, this is a great plus, because if he comes in front of my clients and say, good morning, Waleed, just this has a price. This worth a lot of money to me, to my company, to my clients, that he knows me by name, and then he's always generous and so kind that I say, people want to take pictures with you, and he says, oh, where are you from? He doesn't stand to take a picture. No, he socialized immediately, where are you from? And whenever people, they say, I am from Denver, he says, I lectured there. I'm from New York, I did this, and I'm going, and I'm coming, and I'll do this, and next month.
Yes.
And he talks to the people all the time about what he does and the upcoming things that is happening in the future. I had an American group, and one lady, she was Swiss, among an American group. So he says, I'm going next month. She says, can I come? I tried to purchase a ticket. He says, give them my name, and you will come, and you'll come in. All of this is good. The media in Egypt, I know.
The media has a very important role to play in marketing the country to the whole world, and fortunately Nile TV is
I know
is joining hands with you in that respect.
No, and I know personally from him, because he's very hard to go here and there, but he came to Nile TV International, and he did a beautiful...
We were really honored to have him for a very important interview and an exclusive that he gave to the channel.
You know, I was once in the Metropolitan in New York during the inauguration of the second Suez Canal, and I'm standing, and a little kid, his name is Sean, he was asking his mother a question. So I didn't even look at the kid, but I said to the mother when I'm looking at the show case, and I said, can I answer your son, ma'am? Because you know how sensitive this in the United States. She said, do you know? I said, yes, of course. So I answered him. So he asked me another question and another question. And then the mother, she said, I'll pay you if you give us a tour. I said, no, I can't be paid. I'll give you the tour gift from my country. I'll give you a tour from Egypt. So I give them the tour in Egypt. And the mother, she was so pleased, and the grandfather was there. And then they said, you know, he's always, since, you know, he's a little kid, Egypt is always in his dream, and he likes, and look what they did, and he likes, and the woman, she was going like this, the legendary, and she's trying to remember the name. I said, Dr. Zai, she says, Hawass, and the kid jumped, and he says, Zai Hawass. I said, hold a second, I'll call him for you, but I got to see what's the time in Cairo.
Yeah, and they were amazed.
It's not that. He asked the kid, when is your birthday? And guess what? It become a story. Look how little it is.
Yes.
He asked him, when is your birthday? And he sent him, on his birthday, one of his books and a card signed by Zahi. That was very smart because it hit the news. CNN did a coverage on it. The local station where the kid lives in the Bronx in New York did a coverage on this.
Yeah.
It was big. And then...
And see, this is the role of the media, and how they can portray important stories, and also the human stories are always leading headlines, like the one that you've mentioned.
One other kid, because kids touch the whole world.
Definitely.
One other kid, she said to her parents, her dream was to come to Egypt and see Dr. Zahi. And I think they wrote to him and they said, this is the wish of their daughter, but they cannot afford a trip or something like this. And immediately, can you imagine, out of the zillions of messages he got, he responded to them and he invited, I repeat the word, invited them. He sponsored them accommodation, and he managed to get them a sponsor to the airline ticket. They came, but this became a news. When it went back, it became a news because how touchy it is.
It is, definitely. More than one achievement actually taking place, and there are calls also for Egypt hosting an international conference on the global future of tourism. And it's always great to see experts and intellectuals and those who are considered to be very bright faces of the whole profession meeting in Egypt.
We have celebrities in this field, by the way. We have in the Islamic field, if I may say, and very proud to say, Dr. Tariq Suwailem, who is a PhD, he's a tour guide, originally is a tour guide, and then he's a professor at certain universities around the world. He lectured to them, whether he goes to them or now he does it by Zoom, but his field is Islamic. The mosques and all of this, and he speaks so proud of this country as well. So we have people that the legendary heart surgeon, Dr. Jacob, I had people queuing to take pictures with him when we met him in Aswan. They wanted to take pictures at the hotel that he usually around, but people stopped him, and he was so kind. He was so kind. You know, I know how painful this sometimes could be to stand for 10, 15 minutes and people posing with you, but this is again the soft power of Egypt.
Definitely. Well, Egypt is realizing its potential in tourism all over and over again, and always there are ideas out of the box. We do have today a lot of marketing concerning the museums and the museology culture. How about the awareness concerning our kids here at home? How can we make them quite interested in learning the country's history? How can we provide them with incentives? And do the tour guides need coaching in attracting kids in that area?
The government is working on this. I can assure you.
The sense of belonging to the nation.
The former Minister of Tourism, Dr. Rania Al-Mashat, I know she signed an agreement with the Minister of Education to spread this. Bear in mind that the current Minister of tourism and antiquity. He's a university professor, used to teach. So he understands.
And a tour guide as well.
And of course, yes, yes, but the most important thing, he understands that you need to push this to elementary and middle and high, and even in universities, and promote the awareness. And I think we spoke privately once also before about two ladies in Egypt now are going with a program to show how proud to be as an Egyptian of everything, your food, your custom, your tradition, your clothing, on every aspect, and to speak about your country, and to speak about the 1973 victory, and to speak about what we've done, and this and that, to speak about the 30th of June. All these things, we have lots of things that we can show and talk about. Suez Canal. How can we did it? I mean, how come we did it in 1 year?
Yes.
You know, I mean, I can't even express myself. And this one, yeah, speechless. I want everybody in Egypt to go and see that when we have the will, we can do the thing.
Definitely. Well, more also concerning marketing Egypt to the world, and those new projects that are really marketing Egypt to the whole world. How can we make use of such great achievements touristic-wise, and putting Egypt on the touristic map internationally?
We are.
Egypt is not only the pyramids or Sharm el-Sheikh or the Egyptian Museum. We need more unconventional sites and places to go.
Well, a place like the Museum of Royal Chariots.
Yes.
The Asr Abdin is open for visitors.
Yeah.
The Palace of Abdin is open
and
for
the Manial
visitors.
Palace.
And the Manial Palace as well.
Beautiful.
Lots of palaces as well. The Baron Palace.
Yes, after renovation, it's beautiful.
And still queues till today. Okay. I believe the Royal Chariot Museum will, and those three museums may cover the cost of opening them before we receive international tourism, by the way, from Egyptians. But it will be added to the agenda of groups coming. I hope all the travel agents in Egypt are smart enough to add this, because if you're going to give me the normal package, you're going to be like every other person. The other day, I had a phone call from someone who is a big operator, and he was asking about Hawara and Maydoum. I mean, those are pyramids, and we have this. There is people around the world now is planning. People are dying to travel. People wants to travel. People are sick of the lockdown. Exactly. Now they want to go out, and Egypt, that's the good thing.
That's the positive. That it is safe.
Not only this, Egypt is on the top priority of I want to go. Why? When they look at the media, whether social media, whether television, whether news or whatever, they see that Egypt has discovered mummies, tombs, temples, this and that. And then you talk about palaces, and you talk about dinner in a palace, and you talk about I can come and attend an opera.
Yes.
This is very important. That you tackle all the tastes. Okay, well, you don't have to come now and just go on the cruise ship on the Nile and watch the belly dancer and have dinner, and you're locked on a cruise ship for 1.5 hours or 2 hours because there's another show. No. Now you can go somewhere and walk freely and sit in any cafe, have something to eat, mingle with Egyptians. The Egyptians itself, they are attraction. People sometimes they want to talk to the Egyptians, and you know how the Egyptians are very talkative when it comes, if they speak the language or they try to express themselves. And I usually do this when I have a group, and I can see there is an Egyptian family and maybe a member of the family that speaks fairly good English. I don't interfere. I let them mingle, because this is another story. The people, they say...
The people to people.
And the people of Egypt is beautiful. Definitely. The people of Egypt is, and they're so
with
proud.
With their smile and with
yeah,
their
and they keep telling them, did you eat this? Did you try this?
Very welcoming.
For a moment, they forgot about the pyramids and the history and the ancient. Now they met the people of Egypt. And the comment, as they come into the bus, they say, they're lovely people. Why? Because they had in the back mind preconceived ideas before, and we suffered so much from bad publicity and bad propaganda. Now we're overcoming this by showing how peaceful we are and how nice the people are and things like this. This is what gives...
And by providing examples, when they meet Egyptians, they find them for themselves how nice and kind-hearted and welcoming they are.
I want to mention, and I wish every Egyptian watching this show immediately, the minute we finish this episode, that they go online and look for the site of the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquity, because it has changed 100%. Now it has videos, it has information, it has 3Ds. I mean, you can visit the tomb of Hor Muhib, you can visit this and that, while you're sitting in your desk at home, as a teaser till you come. I saw the promo that you have.
Visit Egypt.
Over here.
This is the Niles Initiative.
And every time I watch it, I can't stop myself from, almost dancing with the music. The beats, it's so beautiful. And the fish, and it's no longer, I'm just showing you pyramids. No, I have undersea, I have diving, I have desert, safari, I have this. We want to show the whole world that we have lots of things. Siwa is coming soon. The weather is beautiful.
This is really unique. Siwa Oasis is unparalleled in its beauty, and the place itself is really fabulous. We have lots of treasures in Egypt, and we can keep on going for hours talking.
My daughter has a friend who is visiting Egypt right now. And she said one of the best spots. She was doing south of Marsa Alam. I don't even know the place where she went, but she was doing kiting. The kite surfing.
The kite surfing, yeah.
And when I found out that she's going to be in Egypt and doing this, and my daughter told me about it, I also searched a little bit. I found that Ras Sidr is one of the best spots in the world for this.
For kiting.
For kiting.
Yeah.
Imagine the beauty of this country, and what does it have? And
Egypt has it all. That's why we say Egypt has it all. And definitely, we talked a lot tonight about achievements, about the Great Vibes excavations, the 3 museums, this in addition to the big gift, which is GEM, Egypt's Gift to the Whole World, initiatives that are there also to serve and promote Egypt's tourism industry to the whole world, increasing also the Egyptians' awareness of their own civilization at the same time, and plans to transform Giza into the world tourism capital. Well, as Mr. Batouty advised us to go on the website of the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities and look for yourselves, you're going to find a very vivid page, and also the virtual tours are great. Have a look and you will decide to come for yourselves, right?
Yes.
I thank you so much, Mr. Waleed Al-Batouty, for the positive vibes as always, and for the great information as well. Thank you so much, Mr. Waleed Al-Batouty, member of the World Federation of the Tourist Guides Association, for joining us on Thursday Debate. Thank you so much, and happy birthday. And I thank you, dear viewers, for joining us. And that was Thursday Debate, talking more achievements in the field of tourism and antiquities. And I'm Taghreed Hussein. Thanking you all for watching.